Hey, what's up, guys? This is Justin, and I've got a great episode and guest in store for you today. Are you currently in real estate and want to learn how to set appointments and take your closing ratio to a higher level? Maybe you want to be an inside sales associate, or maybe you want to lead an inside sales associate department. I've got one of the best in that field on the show today. Make sure you tune in. Don't miss it. What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Justin Ford Podcast, where I'll be releasing life-changing principles and valuable information focused on all things faith, finance, family, fitness, real estate, and so much more. Let's go! What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Justin Ford Podcast. Super excited to be with you here again today. I hope you've been doing great since the last episode. If you're loving the show, do me a favor. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button here on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform. And if you're really loving the show, go ahead and leave us a 5-star review. If you haven't followed me yet on social media, you can at the official Justin Ford. Again, at the official Justin Ford. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, X, and also here on YouTube. I got a great episode and a great guest in store for you today. But before we get into that, I do want to remind you that this episode is brought to you by my friends over at Nextdoor Lending. Nextdoor Lending is a team of professionals that believe everyone should be treated as if they live next door. The founders and team members have more than 150 years of combined loan experience, helping clients all over the country choose the best loan program to help you accomplish your goals. Nextdoor Lending is currently licensed in over 26 states and has a team of over 100 loan officers specializing in helping you get the best rate and terms. And so whether you're looking to refinance your home or you're looking to purchase your next home, call my friends over at Nextdoor Lending today at 888-885-3667 or visit their website at nextdoorlending.com. You know, anytime I bring a guest on the show, it's because they are doing something to make an impact, and we want to highlight that. We want to be able to share with you when people are doing great things and when they're a part of something that's great. And I'm excited because the guest that I have on the show, I have the privilege to work with every single day, and he recently joined our team, and we're so grateful to have him a part of our team, and we're excited to share his story with you today. Please help me welcome Mike Cantrell.
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
My man. Super excited.
Yeah, me too.
This is actually Mike's first podcast.
It is.
Yep.
It is.
And I always love having people on for the first time because I always say it might be your first, but it's not going to be your last.
Yeah, I hope not.
And we've been talking about obviously bringing you on the show and talking about some things that we're doing together.
Yeah.
Talking about some of the things that you're doing, and it's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. You know, Mike, every time we bring somebody on the show, it's always good to kind of share, how you got to where you are. So for those of you guys that are listening, Mike has been in the real estate industry now for how many years?
7+, going on 8, I believe, somewhere around there.
And Mike is the director of our inside sales department, also works with our agents on how to sell more homes, take more listings, convert more deals. And Mike's been with us now for about 4 months.
Yep.
4 months, man. It's gone by fast.
I know.
Yeah. But what's awesome about Mike is, we in this industry of real estate, because we have a lot of real estate agents that listen, one of the number one things that people hate to do, and you know this, Mike, is to make phone calls. Hate making calls, right?
Sure.
And yet I believe that making phone calls in real estate is one of the most important things that you can do. And when you get really good at being able to do that, and you really want to grow a team, to have someone like yourself who is successful, who's good at what they do, to join a team and be a part of building out that department is so important because it takes really building with the right person, right? But before we get into, talking about what you're doing and some of the things, but how did you get into real estate? Talk about a little bit of your background and how you got into real estate, because nobody ever grows up and says, I want to go into real estate. It's usually people find themselves in getting into real estate.
Well, I spent most of my adult life, I worked for Federal Express for FedEx, quite a long time, for like 18 years.
Yep.
So, did everything there from truck driving to delivering to even to management for a few years.
Yeah.
So unfortunately that came to an end, and I thought that was going to be everything for me. I
like
thought
you were
that
going to retire
that was
there.
it.
That was it. Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
I had no intentions of doing anything else. I was locked and loaded. I bled purple.
Yeah.
So they said.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. How long into your training until they told you about the arrow in between FedEx? I'm sure you learned in training or no?
I don't think they told us in training. I did find out early on, and I never seen it until somebody actually pointed it out.
Yep.
And then it was like so obvious. It was like, how'd you miss that?
Yeah.
But yeah. It's kind of crazy.
So you were doing that. We're there for a long time.
Yeah.
Felt like you were going to be there forever. Then what happened? Like, where'd you go from there?
I went through some things in my life. I'll just be transparent.
Yeah.
I was going through a divorce.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
probably wasn't in the best place.
Yeah.
Me personally.
Yep.
Professionally, just everything.
Yep.
So it, it took a hit on my career with them, and I ended up, parting ways with them. Not really by choice.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, and that's okay. Because like I said, I would have been stuck there. And when I say stuck, it's that since I've left, so many things have opened up in my life, and me realizing things from the past that I neglected because I was putting that first.
Yeah.
And then, just different opportunities that I never saw inside myself.
Yeah.
So then I went into other things after that, like, I did some managing, like some bars and working and stuff like that, because that's just another thing I'd been in that industry as I was younger.
Yep.
And then, I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, what am I going to do, man? I don't feel like going back to school.
Right.
And I just, I got to do something, that I can really build a life out of and build a career with. So that's where real estate came into the picture.
Yeah.
Because I knew it was one of those things, and I've always been a hard worker.
Yeah.
Like whatever I'm doing, I put my all into it.
Yep. Yep.
Not always successful at it, but I will definitely,
work hard,
give it the best that I got. So I knew with real estate, here you go, man. You're at this turning point in your life. What do you want to do? What's going to be the fastest way that you can get into something, and what you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. So that was pretty much my decision based around that.
Yeah. And so did you go right into inside sales, or did you get your license? Like how did that happen?
Right.
How did you get into that component?
Well, see, that's the funny thing is because I didn't have my license. So I'm like, what am I going to do? Because I want to get into real estate now. So I started seeing, someone had told me, or something came about, that you could still be in part in real estate without, at least get started while you're getting your license. So what I did was I found an ad that was calling for an inside sales person, not necessarily licensed at the time, but kind of in training.
Yep.
So I was like, man, this is a great opportunity.
Yeah.
So it's a great opportunity for me to get into the business, learn about it as I'm getting my license, and kind of go from there. So that's what I did.
So you found an ad.
I did.
And have you ever had any sales experience in the past, like making phone calls or doing any sales at all?
Well, sales, even when I worked at FedEx, some of the in-person sales when we were dealing with customers, or even, I guess my stuff was always client-facing.
Yeah.
Like even in the service industry or restaurant or bar industry, that's sales, right?
Yes,
you're dealing with people.
Yep,
So,
customer service.
so that type of stuff. But as far as like, I take it back. When I was younger, I did some, that was door-to-door sales.
Yeah.
But one of those things. But, so no, I never got on the phones and reached out to people and was doing things that way.
So you were just taking like this new step, this new door.
100%.
It's interesting because a lot of people aren't drawn to getting on the phones and making phone calls. And so you apply for the position, you get the job. Tell us what happened.
Yeah. Well, that's a funny story too.
Yeah.
So I actually got in there and I started working, right? And it was, they want you to do things and they have expectations, right? And I think I was only there like a week or a couple weeks. And like one of the guys who was like the leading it, he was like, hey man, I don't think this is working out.
Wow, that didn't take long.
Yeah. And I'm like, what? I'm like, I haven't even had a chance to like do it. And I was just like, no, man, I did not get into this to fail.
Right.
And I literally had to like, maybe that was the beginning of my phone skills or back and forth skills, because I had to talk him into like, look, man, I'm not here to fail. I'm here to win.
Yeah.
So give me that chance
Yep.
and let me continue doing this, and I'll show you what I can do.
Mm-hmm.
And man, that just changed the trajectory of everything after that.
So obviously you overcame his objection
I did.
and you closed him to keep you.
Yep.
And then what happened after that?
Well, after that, I started passing everybody else up as far as like the appointment setting and the things like that. And then eventually, man, within the first 6 months of me being there, I had an opportunity to become their inside sales manager.
Wow. Yeah.
So
what does that entail?
Well, that was mainly focused on just like setting the appointments, kind of managing the other inside sales agents.
Yep.
Keeping up with their calls. What are they doing? Their training as far as like, talking to people, learning the scripts and all the things that goes along with, inside sales. So that's what that job was. It was, but not only the difference about when I was doing it, it wasn't me just managing them. I also was active doing it too.
Leading by example.
Right. So I couldn't just manage them. I had to actually perform.
Right.
And I had expectations not only as a manager, but also as an inside sales agent. So I was still expected to produce.
Right. Yeah, especially if you're going to get people to listen to you and to follow you, and you're going to teach them something. Like you have to earn their respect, right? Respect isn't given; it's earned.
Right.
But to be able to perform and then show people, what you're capable of doing or what you are doing, which then allows them to say, you know what, this guy has something to teach me.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, some of that too is like, and I understood it more so later, maybe not at first, but being around people in an atmosphere and listening to other people, like I've learned so many things from listening to people on the phones.
Yeah.
Stuff that I wouldn't have said normally myself or learn how to say something. And then when people also have a fear, because there is a big fear with calling people,
Absolutely.
Even though those people never probably going to know who you are,
right.
It doesn't really matter, but it's still in your head.
Yeah.
You're terrified.
Yep.
Right. So when people see you doing it and see you having success at it and seeing you get through it, then it motivates them.
Yep.
It makes them more comfortable.
Yeah.
So they can learn and then, get out of their comfort zone. Because that's one of my favorite phrases too, is like, growth begins where your comfort zone ends.
Yeah.
Something like so. I think that's amazing because it's so true in every aspect of life, not just real estate or inside sales.
Right. Yeah. I was listening to this video this morning, and the guy was like, everything that you really want is on the other side of fear.
Yeah.
Because people, it's just in general, especially when it comes to rejection.
Yeah.
People are so afraid. And I remember because I had the same role as you, I was Jeff's inside sales manager.
Yeah.
And I remember, man, like really having to, help people through that, that fear of rejection. And what I always say is, even when I teach it in the prospecting boot camp, is like, the good news is you can overcome fear of rejection.
For sure.
It's mindset, right?
Yeah.
And so, to be able to work with people and train people how to do that, some who are hard workers, like you were saying, like you knew you could step into this role and be successful because you believed you could, you had the drive, you had the motivation, and you were willing to learn. Right. Whereas some people, man, they're just looking for easy. And this is definitely not easy.
It's not. I think people that's another misconception I think about the real estate business as a whole. I think everyone thinks they see all these shows and people making all this money and then all these, things on social media about, hey, do these processes and you're going to be successful. And so everybody jumps into it thinking like, oh, I can be my own boss. I don't have to work. I can work when I want or do these things. And that's the problem, is that people get in this and you don't realize that real estate is not like a 9 to 5. You pretty much, if you want to be successful, and even with the inside sales, that's one thing that helped me catapult myself in that.
Right.
Is because I was setting appointments after my scheduled work hours or on the weekends on my days off. Whenever there was an opportunity that presented itself, I took it. Yeah. So, and I still do that, I still do that today.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but.
Yeah. And so you were at this specific team and you were in that role for a while, right? You were one of the managers there, or the manager for the inside sales for how many years?
Well, I think it was almost 4 years.
4 years.
4 years.
Wow.
And then it got to a point to where it was just becoming like too much for me to do both.
Right.
Like I couldn't perform. I was only doing like a certain percentage on each side of the coin,
right,
I guess, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
Because I wasn't able to give my all as the manager and give my all in prospecting and setting appointments. So
right.
it just got to a point to where I was like, what do I want to do?
Right.
You know, what's going to be, and some things had changed there, like some pay structures and things like that. So it was just like, I had to think about it. Like, what do I want to do?
Yeah.
You know, so I voluntarily stepped down. I said, hey, listen, I'm going to go back to this, doing this, you know, just the inside sales part.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can find somebody else who, because what they wanted somebody who would just manage.
Yeah.
And I knew that I wasn't going to be able to make the kind of income that I wanted just based on that.
Right.
Because there's no, you know, there's like, in sales, you have a potential, like the more commissions or whatever, things like that. So that wasn't there for that. So that's why I was like, no.
And so how much longer after that were you at the company before you started to look at making a change?
Another 2 years.
Oh, you were? Okay.
Yeah. I was there, and it was nothing against them. You know, I learned most of the stuff I know, I would say, is from there, you know, and I'm really grateful and appreciate the opportunity.
Yep.
It was me.
Yeah.
It was just, you know, you start getting this stagnant feeling, or just like, I'm looking at myself, and a lot of times I focus on my age, you know, sometimes, and I'm just like, you know, I want to make the most of my time in this world.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be, if I'm not happy doing this, and this is what I'm doing every day, and it's not fulfilling, and I don't see it going any further than where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
And just the opportunities weren't there.
Yep.
So I'm like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I couldn't continue to do it. I did it for 2 years.
And you just, you couldn't really see it. I don't want to say a way out, but a way up, basically.
Well, that's what it was.
Yeah.
I just didn't see, I mean, I could always do better at what I was doing, you know, and move up that way.
Yep.
But everything's not always about like money.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I wasn't growing personally.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
You know?
Yeah, because that's kind of how we connected. Because after you left that team, you had you went to another team for a short stay.
I did.
Yep. And you were over there for how long?
Like 7 months or
7
something
months.
like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And, you know, I know a lot of people jump around in this business, but it wasn't really like that at all. I went there with the intentions of being there long term.
Yep.
Because I liked what they had to say.
Yeah.
Initially, and then, you know, I got in there and it was cool.
Yeah.
It just again, I just felt like, you know, I'm where I'm at in my life and how I feel personally.
Yeah.
Just about everything. It was personally, professionally, spiritually.
Yeah.
Just everything. It just wasn't. I didn't feel that was my calling.
Yeah.
To be there.
Yeah.
So again, nothing against them at all. I appreciate every opportunity that they gave me, and it was amazing, a blessing.
Yeah.
And you know, there was more that I wanted, and so I just kept seeking that.
Yeah.
So I think I learned that from the first team I was on.
Yeah.
And I stayed there for so long.
Yep.
It's like, I don't want to keep doing that.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
You know, I want to be someplace that I can grow in all these different ways.
Yep. Which is so important.
Yeah.
And I remember, because I had heard your name previous to where you were last, but we connected on Facebook, and you know, I started to see you, and we started to you know, just chat a little bit. You reached out to me about my book, and you know, I saw you on your health journey and encouraged you. And you know, it's funny because Juan, who's our director of operations, and he's been on the show before. Yeah. You know, for 2 years we were praying, you know, because we knew the importance of having somebody inside that could lead that department, the, you know, inside sales department, not only from just setting appointments, but helping us grow it. Yeah. And there's a lot of talented people that are good on the phones, but super inconsistent in life, right?
Yeah.
So many of them, and we know a lot of them together. And, we looked at all of these potential people like, oh man, it would be awesome to bring this person over. And they were talented when they were showing up, but man, their lives were just messy.
Yeah.
They just had other things going on and were inconsistent because of those things. And, me and Juan just felt really just patient to just wait for the right person.
Yeah.
And, what's interesting is the team that you came from, before you came to join us, we just have this mutual respect and, relationship that we just don't like poach each other's, people. And I remember showing Juan a picture of you because you had like set like 50 appointments or something that one month. And I'm like, this is the type of guy that we need over here. And so, and then, you were, I saw you growing in your faith, right? You were talking a little bit about that. And then, one day you reached out to me because you were kind of given an opportunity, or you were given a moment to explore other options. Not that you couldn't, but like,
right.
And then you reached out to me. Right. What made you reach out to me?
Well, several things. I don't know if you remember the first time we actually talked face to face.
It was at the conference, right?
That camp, the live prospecting.
Live prospecting,
yeah. So something was just telling me, I had seen your videos before that and seen things like that, and it was like, man, this is what I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Like what he's doing in his life is it's kind of what I want to do.
Yeah.
Not like the same thing, but the same direction, that same everything that you were kind of about or are about.
Yeah.
Was kind of what I felt like I was missing.
Yeah.
Like in where I was at.
Yeah.
And so that's what had me reach out, because at first I didn't reach out for any intentions to come anywhere.
When we first started connecting, it was never about like, hey, are you looking for somebody? Or
I was reaching out more so from like a coaching standpoint of view.
Mentorship,
like, hey, can I
like that.
You give me some advice, or this is where I'm at.
Yeah.
What should I do? How can I be better at this, at real estate, or how can I be a better Christian, or whatever that is, those type of things. That's what I was kind of like thirsting for, so to speak, in my life.
Yeah.
I just felt the calling that you were the person that for me to reach out to.
Yeah.
And so that's where it happened.
Yeah. And then one day you reached out an additional time about potentially working together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when I was exploring opportunities, that's what I was asking, kind of like, hey, what's going on? What do you, what are you guys looking for in different things? And, that's when the whole conversation started.
Yeah. And what was awesome is you had other options on the table, and even had the opportunity to go back to the first company you were with.
I did. And it was a good one.
And it was a good opportunity to earn more money, have a greater opportunity. But, you chose to come work with us. Mm-hmm. What made you choose, us over going back to where you were, or even continuing to explore more opportunities?
Well, I think, I was seriously thinking about going back, because I got a lot of friends there, and still one of my close friends is still a big part of that team. Yep. And we talk all the time still.
Yeah.
But something inside us says, you want to grow in your life. So in order to grow, why would you go back to soil that wasn't producing anything for you or wasn't nourishing you?
Right.
And what's going to be different this time?
Mm-hmm.
It's like the same thing when we talk to homeowners, like, so you're going to use the same agent. What are they going to do differently this time?
Yeah.
So it was like, that's what it was for me. I had to ask myself, do you really want to go back? You know how you felt.
Yeah.
Do you want to go back to that feeling again?
Mm.
And I didn't. And then after talking to you and realizing that there was so many opportunities, again, to grow financially, spiritually, personally, because of everything that you're doing and all the different things that, you have coming up in the future and everything like that. And it was just like, wow, man, this is to be a part of something like this, and especially at kind of like a ground stage, it's like, and to somebody who kind of would appreciate me for what I can do, and utilize my talents, you know, for good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was just like, this is it was just like a no-brainer for me at that point. It was like, you know, I just felt in my heart that was the decision for me to make.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it was such a strong feeling that I just couldn't.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No. And we're blessed to have you, man. Honestly, you're an answer to our prayer.
Thanks,
too. Because like I said, even before you came earlier this year, we were just like, we almost hired this one guy, but it just didn't feel like it was the right fit. And he ended up getting another job somewhere else. And no, it's awesome because, you know, God, when you put things in God's hands and you ask for his will to be done, you know, it's like and I remember what you said. He's like, Justin, I can make more money over there, but I feel like I can grow more over here. And I'm not just coming for the money. I'm coming because I want to grow spiritually, you know, financially, personally. Right.
Right.
And that's really been our environment. And really what we're about is even when we hire real estate agents, it's like, if you're just coming to make money, you could probably make more money somewhere else. But if you're coming here because you want to be a part of something bigger, you want to grow spiritually, personally, financially, then let's have a conversation.
Right.
And so, you know, we appreciate that you've made that decision to be a part of us because you're a big part of us.
Well, thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah,
for sure.
And we're just getting started, which is awesome.
Yeah, I love it.
But I want to shift gears a little bit because, you know, we've got a lot of agents that are listening. We've got people who are tuning in. And I want to just have you maybe talk about, like, for some agents who are maybe sitting here thinking like, I want to prospect, or, you know, I'm thinking about hiring, you know, an ISA or want to build out an ISA department. But again, there's that fear that people have. You know, what are some things, you know, that have allowed you to overcome maybe some of the fear of rejection, or, you know, throwing yourself into a tough situation? Or how could you maybe encourage those that are listening the importance of why they should be making calls, but how to maybe overcome some of those, you know, fears?
I think the fear thing, you're right. It's always the fear of rejection.
Right.
You know, nobody wants to get rejected in anything you do in life.
Right.
Right. And that fear holds so many people back from growing or moving forward in anything that they're doing.
Yeah.
So I was like, just get over it. But, you know, that's not that easy, right? You can't just do it. So it's kind of a mindset thing. So you have to find a way to do that within your mind, to make yourself at ease for these things. And I always tell people, like, kind of gamify a little bit, you know, challenge yourself.
Yep.
You know, how many rejections can I get? What's the craziest thing somebody's going to say to me today? You know? So, and then once you get through a couple of those calls, like the initial ones, then you know, that ice starts to break, right?
Yep.
You get a little more comfortable. It's just like anytime you're nervous about speaking in front of people, but once you say those first couple words, then that, you know, puts you at ease.
Yep.
So it's the same thing with that. You just have to, and again, I know it's easier said than done, but you just have to kind of tell yourself, like, hey man, I'm just going to start making these calls. I'm not care what anybody says. I don't know these people. I don't have a personal connection to these people.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just going to make these calls because I know. You got to know that you're helping people.
Absolutely.
So, you know, sometimes you got to do tough things, right, to help people out. So sometimes you got to get through these tough conversations. Sometimes they need to hear what you've got to say.
Yep.
So you have to put it in your mind that you're actually doing a service.
Yeah.
And it's not easy, but that's okay. And you got to become comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
I don't know if that was like extended.
No, that's like people don't want to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But yet again, you're not growing.
Right.
If you're not uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Nobody grows in the comfort zone.
I was super uncomfortable at the moment, you know, when I first started. I remember beginning at the moment, oh my gosh, that sounds terrible. I can't believe I said that.
Yeah.
What a fool. I can't believe I did that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
I remember the same thing. I almost quit the first day I got on the phones when I worked for Jeff because I'm like, I'm not a telemarketer. This sucks. Who do these people think they are talking to me like that?
right.
But there comes that decision, kind of like when that guy was wanting to let you go, that you said, no. I'm going to figure this out and I'm going to be successful. Also too, so how do you, because you're not just making calls, you're also working with our agents to make calls, right? To be consistent, to follow up, to overcome objections, to create results. What are some of the things that you've been working on with our agents to help them, be more consistent, stay on top of things, convert more opportunities? Because you do one-on-ones with our agents every week, and you lead our Monday huddle for our agents. And if you're getting company generated leads, it's required, for them to be a part of that. What are some of the things? I'll say this: what are some of the challenges that you see agents have? And then what are some of the things that you're doing to help the agents overcome those challenges?
I think it's the same challenges that, you see just throughout real estate. It's always being uncomfortable, not knowing what to say, not knowing how to overcome an objection or get around that, just, or even an approach. So we talk about that stuff. We do some role playing. I'll ask them to bring to the table, like, hey, we'll go like a round robin thing. What's an objection that you're having? What's something that you're hearing that you're struggling with?
Yep.
And then we start to talk about that, and we'll go through it, and we'll get a couple different opinions, because everybody says something different. And then from that, everybody can learn like really what's a good way to overcome that.
Yeah.
So that's one of the challenges, I think. Also, being consistent.
That's a big one.
Consistency with everyday prospecting, even if it's a couple hours a day, whatever that is, just something that you're doing every day to build your business.
Yep.
And then honestly, the real key is follow-up.
Yeah.
Because once you get in front of somebody and you talk to them, if you don't stay in contact with that person or you don't stay relevant in their world,
they're going to hire somebody else.
There's thousands of real estate agents out there, right?
Right.
Why are they going to think about you?
Right.
So we've been doing some things like that, and I've been helping them come up with different ways to make them more relevant, to make them, so that when something pops up in real estate in somebody's head, it's like, oh, that guy sent me a video text and, right after the appointment, or they did this or that, So whatever that might be, those are the type of things that we kind of talk about and discuss. And then we've also been looking at like every week I started taking like their 5 top people that they're working with.
Yep.
And what I mean by 5 top people is like, who are the people that are most likely to be able to go to a closing table within like the next 30 to 40 days?
Yep.
So let's look at that and what can we do collectively to make that happen? Even if I got to step in and make a call.
And you've done that, right? You've got the agent there with you and you're like, all right, let's call this person, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So because sometimes, people don't answer phones or whatever, but if they see a different number.
Right.
And it's not that I don't think people, sometimes, they do avoid things, but it's not for any negative reasons. It's just sometimes they're doing other things in life and you may not be the most important thing on their list, right?
Absolutely.
So, a few people we've gotten a hold of, reschedule appointments, got them back out looking at things. So that's a big thing. So we're working on those type of things. That's the type of stuff that I work on with them. And again, just the different trainings, things that I've learned, like sales techniques or how to answer the phone right from the beginning of the call.
Yep.
Just things like that to start that rapport build right away. Yeah. Little things like that can really change the whole outcome of a call.
Yeah. And what makes you great at what you do, because I would have to say you're one of the greatest at what you do in our industry, especially locally.
Thank you.
I'd put you up against people even nationally. But what makes you great is those things right there, those little attention to detail, that it's not just picking up the phone and making a phone call. It's all of these little things along the way that you have to be conscious at and get really good at in order to make that connection. Because when you call an absolute stranger and they answer the phone, you literally have a few seconds to cause them to say, all right, I'm going to keep this conversation going versus hanging up. And when you can get really good at that communication, especially with a stranger who doesn't even know you, they're more likely not only to listen to you, but to agree to meet, right? With you or one of our agents. And what's awesome about that is it really does take that skill. And I think that most people aren't willing to go on that journey of developing the skill.
Right.
They just want the results now. right? They, I made phone calls for 2 weeks. Or, I called this person a couple of times and this doesn't work. Versus saying, like you did when you were about to, get canned in the beginning, right? Like,
that's nice.
I'm gonna figure this out, and I'm gonna get really good at this. Yep. And now here you are.
And I think a couple things is, I had when I was at the last team I was at for the several months, I had the opportunity of working with an amazing sales coach.
Yeah.
I mean, he's awesome.
Yeah.
And some of the things that, and some of the things he was teaching us was how you answer the phone is a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, from the initial hello.
Yeah.
You almost need to mirror and match that person, whatever they say. If they say hello, you say hello. They say hi, you say hi. Because when you don't, you immediately create that disconnect. Mm-hmm. And you're already in an uphill battle.
Yeah, already.
But you just made it steeper.
Yep.
When you do that.
Yeah.
So little things like that. And then also learning, which I always struggle with. I like to talk, but
that's why you're good at what you do.
Exactly. It's probably
me too.
But learning how to just ask a really good question and then shut up.
Yep.
Sit back and don't say anything.
Yep.
And just let them talk.
Yeah, the pause.
Yeah.
Right? Most people don't like that silent pause.
Yeah.
I was literally presenting an offer to one of my sellers last night. They paused for like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And I remember when Jeff taught me this when I was on his team, do not talk through the pause.
Yeah.
Even if you're face to face, even if it's on the phone, when they pause, you shut up. Because in that moment of the pause, they're contemplating what you just said, and they're getting ready to make a decision. The pause is so important. Do not take this as a master technique. If you're in a negotiation, if you're sitting at a table, if you're on the phone and you hear a pause, shut up. Don't say anything, because it's human nature to say something to eliminate the awkwardness of silence.
Right.
But I love it. Keep going.
So things like that. And then also another thing is that I think as salespeople, we'll say sales, we're always trying to sell.
Right.
Right. So, and that can be a bad thing.
Right.
Because when you're talking to somebody and you're sitting here, they don't want to listen to me 15 minutes telling them how great of a job I do or how awesome we are and how great we can help them and how we're the best, blah, blah, blah.
Right, yeah.
Because everybody says that.
Yeah.
So another key in a conversation and having a good conversation, well, the first one is ask great questions.
Yep. Selling is not telling.
Right.
Selling is asking questions.
And then also, if they didn't ask you something, don't tell them.
Right.
Because they don't want to hear about all these things about your life and all these things. That's when, if you've noticed when you have calls with people and you start going into something and you're telling them these things they check out. Like,
right. They don't care.
Immediately.
Yeah.
It's like, well, game over.
Yeah.
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 So,
Seriously. It's over.
Yeah. So you just gotta, that's the big thing. Listen to what they're saying.
Yep.
Ask the great questions, sit back, listen, and then respond according to whatever it is that they're talking about,
Yep. Yeah.
And knowing people's personality types too.
Yeah.
And personality types, people get that so confused with like, that's just how somebody is in life. Because that's not really, that's when it comes to this side of the business, that's not really what it is.
Right.
It's people's decision-making process.
Yep.
So personality type is really how they make their decisions.
Right.
So once you learn that, it's like, you have a person that's an analytical person. What do they want? They want information. They want facts. They want to know statistics.
Yeah.
So that's the way to get them,
Yep.
Or if you have somebody who's amiable, they're really caring. So everything that they're going to do is based on emotion.
Yep.
An expressive person, when you get them, they want to talk and they want to paint these pictures. And so how do they decide?
Yep.
They decide on how something makes them feel.
Yep.
Then you have people who are drivers. They don't have time for you.
They just want to get to the bottom line.
What do you want?
Yeah.
Tell it to me and let's move on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's just the basic of those. I mean, I would really, if you're in sales, I think that's really a big thing because when you know how people are, you know how to talk to them.
Yep.
And because what does somebody want to hear? They want to hear somebody like themselves.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So
yeah.
If that makes them comfortable with you. So if they're comfortable with you, if you're speaking their language, so to speak, you're gonna have way better results.
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
So,
No, I love that. Yeah, because again, being great at sales isn't just talent; it's skills. It's committing to learning specific things
yeah.
to position you to communicate, to build relationships, and be the person that someone says, yeah, I'll meet with you, or
Sure.
yes, I want to work with you. So important. But you're not only great at inside sales and sales, you've also got some other talents.
I do.
Yep. You're a singer.
Juggling? No. No, I don't know.
You were in a band, so you love to sing.
I was.
But you also do some impersonations.
Oh man. I do. I wouldn't say I do impersonations. I just like doing silly voices.
Silly voices. What's your favorite voice to do? Which one do you think that you're the best at?
I don't know, man. Sometimes I just, talk to people and maybe I'll do like maybe a Southern voice.
Okay, let's hear your Southern voice.
Hey, Justin, man, I'm really glad. I'm so glad you had me out here today. I love this, man. This is just awesome, man. It's really good to be here, and you're just an amazing guy. It's so much fun, man. This is just great.
What's another one?
But
Well, I'm really here today, and sometimes I just don't really know what to say, and maybe I get a little nervous, but I don't know. I'm so confused.
But you were doing some cartoon characters.
well, I do voices, but I don't think they may sound like other cartoon characters, but I don't think I'm like trying to do that cartoon character.
Yeah, let's hear a cartoon character.
Hey, everybody! This is Mike, and welcome to the Justin Ford podcast team here today. Come on out and just sit back and enjoy everything that we have to say, and I hope you're having an amazing day. Awesome.
I don't know.
No, but those are things that you've talked about. Would love to do, like voiceovers and things like that.
Yeah, I love to do. I mean, I like the series, like cartoon, like the comic book type stuff. And,
Yeah.
Things like that too. Not always the funny, goofy stuff.
Yeah.
But that's always been a dream of mine.
Yeah.
To be like on some kind of voiceover on, a TV show or some kind of animation or even a video game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you're out there and you're looking for somebody.
Yeah. There he is. No, that's awesome. And speaking about being out there, though, obviously we have a lot of agents that are listening, and so Mike also role plays. He's got an agent in our EXP downline down in Maryland, Mary from Maryland.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, he role plays with her. Is that every day or every week?
No, it's every week. It's usually on Thursday. Sometimes we forget. It'll be funny. She'll send me a message like, "Oh my gosh, I forgot," and I'll be like, yeah, I didn't even remember either."
Yeah.
But what we'll do is we'll call. Like she usually calls me.
Yeah.
So she calls, and when I see it's her,
Yeah.
I won't waste time. I'll just answer it like I'm. Thanks for calling the Justin Ford team. How can I help you?
And you guys just go right into it.
Yeah.
Because that's how role playing is supposed to be. There's no side chatting. It's just boom, let's get right into it. Yeah, that's solid. If there's anybody listening, like maybe they're agents or maybe someone who is considering maybe launching an ISA department or wanting to get more information or maybe some direction on that, would you be open to like taking a call?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love sharing is caring.
Yeah.
So,
no, that's awesome. And we're growing, if there's an agent who's listening and they're local and they want to, maybe they're looking to join a team or be a part, we're looking to bring on the right individuals.
Sure.
Mike will have a conversation with you about that. And and our goal is, to eventually build out the ISA department and even have more ISAs that can make calls and grow the department.
The more people we have, the more ground we can cover, the more opportunities we can create, and that would be awesome too. Like you said, looking for some really great agents who want opportunities. So that's because that's the thing is people don't always want to work.
Right. Yeah. No, this is unfortunate, but true.
Yeah.
So true. Yeah.
And as far as like scripting and things like that, one other thing I'll just add, and I was thinking about is that I would always get people saying, "Man, you sound so natural. You just sound like so laid back and whatever on the phone." And it wasn't always like that, but that comes from, and I'm not saying it has to take you years.
Right.
I think it has to come to where we all have scripts and things that we go off of, right? And those are awesome, once you internalize them and learn that. But when you're talking to somebody, how would you want to sound? Do you think you should sound like you're reading off a teleprompter?
Right.
Or do you think you should sound like
natural?
Yeah. How would you say it?
Exactly.
Not like how this person who taught you how to script to say it.
Right.
Like I hear you say stuff all the time and I couldn't say the stuff that you say
Yeah.
because it wouldn't sound right coming from me.
Right. Yeah.
It's just I couldn't say it that way.
You've got to build your personality into it. Yeah.
So that's I think that's another big key is when you're talking to people, learn how to make it you.
Right.
Put your personality in it. If you're funny or whatever, add some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Because people, what's one of the things that you learn from like Jeff? People want to work with you based on the way you make them feel.
Yep, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So what's the difference in person or on the phone?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's how you make them feel.
Yeah.
And so how can people get a hold of you if they want to, role play, if they want to maybe, learn more about what we're doing, things like that? What's the best way to get a hold of you?
Give me a call, 1-800. No, I'm just kidding. No, just reach out to me. You can hit me up through social media, on Facebook.
Yep, Mike Cantrell.
Mike Cantrell.
Is it Mike or Michael?
I don't know if it's Michael or Mike. I think it's Michael.
Yeah, Michael Cantrell.
Yeah.
Or they could call into our office number that goes to you anyway.
Yep.
It's 855-477-SELL, SELL.
Yep.
Yep.
Just give me a call. I mean, even if you just have a question, I'm good with that. Look, I didn't get to where I am today without other people helping me. And trust me, I've asked a lot of questions and had a lot of help along the way.
Yeah.
And I'm still, ask Justin, I'm still asking questions and asking for help
every day,
all the time.
But again, and I do too, but that's what makes you great, because again, the more information that you can get, the more you can apply it to what you do. And I feel like the best sales people are the ones that ask the best questions.
Right. And even helping the agents, it's not things that I just know and have in my arsenal. A lot of times I see things that they need to work on or whatever it is. So I'll go out and find some examples, or I'll teach myself something so that I can, turn around and share it with them.
Yeah.
Or something they're struggling with. I might not know the answer, but, I'm not afraid to go out and find the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I don't know the answer, somebody else does, and I'll figure it out and get you what you need.
No, I love that. That's solid. So guys, if you'd love to connect with Mike, hit him up on social media, Michael Cantrell. If you can't find him in a search, pull me up and just go to my friends list. You'll find him in there. And if not, just call us, 855-477-SELL. And, we're looking to build relationships and add value to, other real estate agents, not locally, but just wherever, that's what it's all about.
I think I'm Citizen C530 on Instagram.
There it is.
You can shuffle through my workout stuff or my health videos or whatever.
Or if you're looking for someone to do voiceovers.
Yes.
This is your guy right
That'd
here.
That'd be awesome. And I can do different ones than those.
Yeah. Give us one last one before we go.
Oh my gosh. You got to put me on the spot like that?
Hey, let it flow, brother.
Let's see. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming out today. This has been a really great experience. I'm so glad to be a part of this podcast here, and I'm looking forward for the next one. So if you want to join us here with the Justin Ford Team podcast, or if you're an agent and you just need something in your life that could possibly help you out, please feel free to reach out. We're glad to help you any way that we can. Thank you, and have a blessed day.
What a way to end the show, man. I'm so glad you joined us today, man. This was good. I know we've been talking about it. And,
that's great.
It's been great, man.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It was fun.
Oh, we'll definitely have you back for sure.
I'll think of some new voices.
Yeah. If you love the show, go ahead and hit the subscribe button here on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform. Feel free to share this with somebody that you know that you feel it could help. Definitely appreciate you tuning in to another episode of the Justin Ford Podcast. Do want to remind you that this episode is brought to you by our friends over at Nextdoor Lending. Nextdoor Lending is not just the sponsor of our show. This is our go-to lender for the Justin Ford team. They have over 1,000 5-star reviews, a perfect A+ Better Business Bureau rating. So if you're a buyer looking to get pre-approved this year, call our friends over at Nextdoor Lending. If you are looking to refinance, maybe take some cash out, consolidate, call our friends over at Nextdoor Lending. And if you are a real estate agent looking for a great mortgage lender, call our friends over at Nextdoor Lending today at 888-885-3667 or visit their website at nextdoorlending.com. 2 things I always like to leave you with. Number 1, it's not how you start. What matters is how you finish. And number 2, with God, all things are possible. God bless you guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.